have fun and just
On
enjoy.
a Saturday.
On a Saturday. So I think everyone should introduce themselves or start over here and just kind of roll our way back.
Perfect. Robert Goldman, Sponsor Monster. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Sponsor
Hi,
Monster.
Krista. I'm with Intovate. I help sites do business development. So pleasure to meet you guys.
Nice.
I'm with Jenn Pages on Clint Social. Go check it out.
What?
Jaime Valles, nurse practitioner, sub-investigator for human clinical trials.
Nice.
Lee Eifler, McCullough Health Artisan Research Network. Excited to be on this famous podcast.
I have 3 episodes. It's not that serious. Hi, I'm Jenn. Pages, whatever, you guys know that. So, and your turn.
Nate Hawking, Artisan Research Network.
Okay, so I think it would be really great since we have so many different people here today that we talk about collaboration within the field because it's something that I feel like is not very good. And I think we could be very candid about it. I also worked at the sponsor side with Icon. And yeah, it was really difficult to reach sites. And then on the site side, it's like really difficult sometimes to reach out to sponsors and stuff like that. So I guess that we can open up with that. So Rob, do you want to start with how does collaboration work?
Well, that's a good one. I mean, I think, do you want to talk in the context of ICHGCP 6R3?
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, I did a training for Clinical Research Pro. Shout out Jess.
Oh, I love Jess.
Yeah.
I love her.
Jess Thompson.
Yeah, exactly.
She's
Just
amazing.
They just did the cruise.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Clint
We all have
Yeah.
FOMO.
So I think
we did.
a little bit.
So FOMO, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, in terms of collaboration, I think it's a lot around like, you know, this bi-directional collaboration is now really the way to go. Whereas previously it's, you know, all about sponsor, CRO, CRO to PM, PM to clinical lead to CRA, CRA to site. This is like kind of what we need to do away with that, right?
Yeah.
In the context of collaborating.
Yeah.
I think it's really time that we start to, if I reach out to a site as a sponsor, it should not be thought of as something bad.
Yeah.
Typically in the context of like, you know, you copy the sponsor and you copy your CR, like it's a problem. It's looked at like negative.
It is.
Right?
It really is.
It's like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? And vice versa.
Yeah.
If the CRO copies the sponsor in a communication, what did I do wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Or the site, I copy the sponsor and it's like, what did I do wrong?
I actually tell
It's like passive aggressive tattletale.
yeah, and I actually tell my like sites that I work with, I tell them if the project manager's reaching out to you, you have an issue.
Right. So Jen, we have
Yeah.
to stop that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like, E6R3 actually, this is no longer the way to do things.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of, we as a community, research community, we have to break this cultural stigma that we've done for so long. And so in the context of E6R3, we call it this bi-directional communication flow. And so that's number one, how we collaborate better,
Mm-hmm.
right? Brass tacks, that's how we start to like at least push the ball forward. I think other ways that we can do that is just really, no matter who I reach out to, it doesn't matter. It's not, I'm overstepping boundaries. I'm not following the communication
Exactly.
plan. Because guys, look, if we play telephone right now and I start here and I tell Krista, Dan, Jaime, Lee, Jamie,
Jen.
Jen.
Same
Yeah,
thing,
I
same
should
thing.
have got that on video.
That's B-roll footage right there.
Jenn Pages.
No, seriously, no.
Yeah.
If I let's say it, the message will
Yeah.
be lost or changed
Of
by the
course.
time it gets to you, Jen.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
So this is what I mean. It's much more efficient for all of us. If I'm the sponsor and I have an issue and I'm like, hey, Lee, here's the problem, and I need you to remediate it, or hey, how can I support you? Versus having to go through this hierarchical, you know, communication chain. This is how we start to at least collaborate.
I think
better.
there's a big disconnect from the beginning on the actual pipeline of communication because recall sponsors all the time. They're like, well, contact your CRA. Who are the two busiest people? The busiest people on the sponsor side are CRAs.
And
They
they're
are
traveling.
run ragged. They're traveling. They're on planes. And the busiest people on the site level are CRCs. They're running 15 studies. They're running 15 studies, 35 patients, trying to figure out who's got what, chasing on medical records. They're doing everything. And then making those two connect is impossible. I think
Can
sponsors
I-
need to have a dedicated line
Yeah.
where they can call in and answer questions. Plus, half the time when you call Sierra, they're like, I don't know. Let me get back to you.
Yeah, let me contact the study team. Can I play devil's advocate though? Because I feel like I've also been on the other side where it's like the site is being contacted by 10 people all about the same thing, asking for the same stuff over and over again. And so I would always have to like go and like mediate. Like I would call the site because I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why don't you want to send this? And they'll be like, because I sent it 10 times. They'll be like, the budget person asked me, this person asked me, then the CRA, then the SMA, and then so it's like, I think if we're gonna do that, which I think is a good, like it's like the best thing for our industry, I think we also have to be organized. Because I feel like it's also burdensome to like for a site to get 10 emails because nobody really is communicating or they didn't upload it in time. It's not in the TMF, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like having that cohesiveness where like we're all on the same page is really going to help. But it's hard with CROs and sponsors because there's so many departments.
Here's the problem. We're complaining about legacy way of doing business.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hello. Like everyone's like, yeah. This is the call to action.
Yeah.
In the context of ICH, GCP, E6R3, this is how we have to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're right. This is the way we typically did it legacy style. And this is the problem. So it takes communication. Lee, and I hear your frustration.
No, I just can't believe SIP hasn't figured all this out by now because they are a streamlined, efficient organization that every sponsor loves. I mean,
Really?
shared investigator platform is,
I don't think it's
at
being
least
used effectively.
they have
the
the,
problem.
best salespeople I've ever met in my entire life because it is unbelievable that we are still having that crappy program rammed down our throats as sites.
Yeah.
And so I went to SCRS last year. I'm about to go again. Went to the SIP booth, and I'm sorry. This is but there was nobody there. I took a picture of it, posted on my LinkedIn. Like, well, this is par for the course. Nobody there at SIP.
Right.
Then they have a meeting where it wasn't really a meeting. It was supposed to be a meeting. It was them talking about how great their program was, and then at the end of it, their solution was, well, your site just needs to hire somebody to manage SIP solely. So your technological solution is I need to bring your technological solution is I need to bring on an extra staff member just to handle your technology that is not navigable for anybody
not
with
simple,
and these are
that's for sure.
right, and they have 6 different websites. Go to cognizant.com,
But
SIP.com,
back
share
to
investigator
Jen's
platform.
question about how do we collaborate better. This is obviously an ineffective way of collaborating.
Yeah.
It is. I get
Right?
a little.
It's very
I have
ineffective.
PTSD.
Oh, no, I think everybody sitting on this panel has some sort of PTSD
Yeah.
Right.
in regard to whether it's a vendor, a site, a CRO, a sponsor,
Yeah.
service provider, whatever. Look, here's the deal. I think at the end of the day, we have to we as a community have to start changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the way of doing business the way we used to normally do it. And Lee, as a person, Jen, as a person in this industry, Jaime, Dan, Krista, as you are Nate, and as you're reaching out to sites and like guys, you right away. It's not easy for anybody on this panel to immediately say it's okay for me to sidestep the typical communication pathway, and let me just reach out directly to the CRA. The CRA is like, oh my God, the sponsor just reached out to me. They're going to complain. When I was at the CRO side, here's what we did. We have a sponsor call.
Oh yes.
And I worked on
the same one.
I mean, I worked on the CRO side for a decade. Oh, well over a decade. And it's like, all right, sponsor, choose us out for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all get on a call after the sponsor hangs up, and we complain. For an hour. What does that accomplish?
Nothing.
Zero. Exactly. So the idea of, well, I'm going to start changing and I'm going to reach out to sites and I'm going to reach out directly to the CRA and I'm going to reach out directly to, oh my gosh, can you imagine the CRC? Granted, they're busy, but I'm going to reach out to the site directors, sponsor direct, and I'm going to sidestep my CRO, assuming I'm using one. Can you imagine? Like, this doesn't feel natural to any of us here, does it?
Well, because I feel like it also they hire the CRO to handle this, right? And then they're gonna go and do it. So it's kind of like, for that, why do you hire a CRO? Just do it yourself.
Jen sees it. So
in a way. I'm just like
hear
devil's
you.
advocate.
But that's how we have to change our thinking, right?
Yeah.
So as a sponsor, you're right. Like, I'm annoyed that I have to actually do it, but
then the sponsor should also communicate that they spoke to the person
For sure.
with the CRO, and I feel like that's more like where the issue is. Because I used to schedule calls with CRCs. I'd be like, okay, database lock is happening. How can we get this done together? Like, how can we work together? And I used to get stuff done as a project manager, you know, and it was really effective to be able to just skip the CRA because they're so used to the CRA coming around. It's almost like, you know, when you're in a relationship for someone with a lot, in the beginning, it's great because it's like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. And then after like 2 years pass, you're like, you can go get it yourself. So I feel like it's kind of like that. Like they're so used to seeing the CRA, right? So it's like, well, project manager comes in, and I did it because I just wanted to make sure the success of the database lock was good, that we reach our timelines, right? But they did things so much faster because it's someone new asking them, someone a little bit higher, you know. So I agree. I feel like there should be maybe the communication. The way to fix it is like there's certain time frames where the project manager should reach out, or they should do this, or you know what I mean, like and not because it's like, oh no, you're in trouble. No, like take that completely away. I don't care if you haven't sent it in 3 months, but we need it. So I'm calling you because I would love for you to help me get it.
Right.
How can we work together so that we can get this done? And I feel like also being transparent. A lot of times the sponsors like, we need this, but they're not saying we need it because we're getting audited. You know, because there's plenty of times where like I know that when I was working at the CRO, they're like, oh, we have an audit, we need to get all these TMF documents, right? But then it was like, oh, we need it now, but it wasn't really like transparent. And I feel like the way that we could really get the communication flowing is being transparent, and that's something that when I was in the other side, they didn't let us.
And I think it really comes down to just simplicity and the basics of the
Yeah.
processes and the systems
Mm-hmm.
and the teamwork, right?
Yeah.
If the team knows that, hey, I'm not afraid to pick up the phone and call somebody and reach out and ask a
Right.
question.
That was-
I'm not gonna get
It's not lower than me, and it's not above my
Exactly.
pay grade. Like,
That was going to be my next point, is that there's a big problem. There's a big problem, I think, in the industry right now because there's a huge adversity to phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
They send an email and everybody says, I send an email, like I'll tell coordinators, hey, pick up the phone, call the CRA. And they're like, well, okay, I sent an email. And I'm like, well, pick up the phone and call them.
Can you imagine?
I sent a text.
God forbid.
God forbid. God forbid we use the oldest. Maybe you should send a carrier pigeon.
And it's
Yeah.
like
The Gen
under
Z doesn't know how to use.
I don't
the
know,
brand.
but
If
I've
it's
been
like-
in research since you had to call in the visits. Like you had to call
No, I'm in
IVRS
the
on the
old
phone.
school.
Like, can we talk about IWRS?
IVR?
IVRS,
IW
IXR, right?
R
No, Jen.
IWR.
I-
Isn't that-
Interactive Voice Response System,
Yeah.
I had
IVRS.
to
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
and talk. Subject number 11.
Or you used to type it in on
Yeah.
the phone.
IVRS,
We
yeah.
didn't have IRT, any of that.
Yeah,
We had to
yeah.
call.
But I feel like it's so crazy because our technology is better, but I feel like things
We're
worked
still in the old
better
Technology's
before,
better, but
in
the
a sense.
communication is worse.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
So
And
the
well,
brass
they
tacks,
say
I'm sorry.
emails. This is instant communication. It's
Yeah.
it's sent to them instantly, which is
but it's
faster
so
than
easy to
Automation.
no.
ignore.
It's
Everything
faster.
automated.
It's faster than sending a letter, but it's one-way communication. That's great. But if you need a response and if you have to work through a problem, the phone is still the best solution.
Yep.
Because you can ask a question, get an answer, ask a follow-up question, get an answer. That could take 2 days via
Yeah.
email with CRA and CRC schedules. It's like you ask a question and
So Lee, you just like Jen's question at the top of this whole conversation was, how do we effectively collaborate better?
I think we need to establish better lines of communication with dedicated people. It can't be the CRA.
Or is it break old habits?
But they did.
It's
That's what the
breaking limits,
SMA
but
is.
the thing is the
Save our
old
site
habits
cycle.
are the old habits are that our main point of communication is our CRA, but our CRA has 25 other
But
sites.
that's why they have SMAs
we need a
now.
we need a
What's
Which
the
I don't have any
in-house.
management
I
of
think
sites.
we just
But I
need to
don't-
know about
What's
the
the estimate?
infrastructure also.
But I don't
Once
have
we
any-
know what takes care
That's
of
'cause
what,
then it's like
and then you'll know
management
who to reach out to.
Yeah.
I don't have any SMAs on any trial I'm on.
No, you don't.
Oh, right, I know,
You know.
but we need them. I think it's a
I-
better.
SMA,
IQVIA should
CMA.
have it
Thank
though,
you
'cause
for-
IQVIA should.
I'm just so glad you know about my
I
studies.
do. Sorry.
Thank you for.
See, even from Orlando, I know your studies.
It wasn't a question. It wasn't a question.
I
It was
know.
a statement. But
Yeah,
but
you really
thank you
know.
for
Yeah.
thank you for
welcome.
reinforcing my.
No, but I think
Anyways.
IQVIA should have
Yeah.
SMAs because there's a lot of studies that do. But I think it's all about the
I'm
department.
just saying.
which
Well,
is-
at
does
least
make
it's a
sense.
step in the right direction. I'll give
Yeah.
it's a step in the right direction. But I think that's really what we need, and we have to do it at the site level as well.
Yeah.
And we also have to teach we have to clearly define with our staff what's urgent, the difference between what's urgent and what's important. If like I want to be partners with all the pharmaceutical companies I work with, if they call in and it's like, look, it is database lock time. I need this. That's urgent and important.
I feel like
We
that's
need
the
it
only
now.
time
We
they're
need to
transparent.
deliver on. Well, I know.
Because
And
like if they're like a lot of times, like I said, when they're getting like audited, they don't really tell you, hey, we're getting audited, we need this now. They kind of just say we need it, it's urgent. So then I'm just playing devil's advocate again, sorry, but like in your point of view, right? Then how would you prioritize that? Because they're not telling you.
prioritize what?
Like if they're asking you for something and internally they know it's for an audit and they're like it's urgent, but for us, if
That's
we're
training their
you know,
people how to clarify.
yeah,
You know,
so
train
then
how
I
to
think that goes back to
clarify.
like transparency.
But also, when you have a little, our staff can always come ask me the question, and I'll understand. I'll be like, look, no, that's not important. That's a overreaching CRA. This is a project manager calling. They really need it. Let's deliver that now. Like
Yeah.
that's why there's leadership at a site to decide what's urgent and important. And
agree.
our CRCs, they shouldn't even be forced in the position where they have to feel like they make those decisions. That's what leadership's for.
And I
We
feel
can
like
answer those questions.
something that we were implementing with Makoa is like all the CRAs, if like all the issues or anything, any communication goes to us so that the CRAs are not stressed out, and
Yeah.
then we delegate. And I feel like that's also a way that it's a good way to communicate because you're going straight to the source. You know, it's usually like owner, site director, they really care about the site's success, right? And so they're gonna push for these CRAs
Well,
and all
and-
these issues to be
And
resolved.
quality, you know, CRCs too, like they want to deliver quality more than anything else. And then if they failed on that, they quit. But then when you have overbearing CRAs, like we're in a spot right now where we made some mistakes. We've had like 100% turnover in staff and have rebuilt from the ground up over the last year.
Literally.
But it's been literally, but it's been really good. But I still have to isolate certain CRAs from staff because it's like they're too new, you know, they don't need this kind of abuse.
Wow.
It's,
Wow. Wow. That sounds to me like a CRA that doesn't belong at your site. If you feel that kind of
But
way.
then how do
No.
you express that?
it's.
I think this is part of collaboration, right?
This is part of. This is a fundamental.
To training.
It's a fundamental problem. If your staff.
I don't think. Look, when I say abuse, it's not. It's
No,
not
I'm-
abuse.
I'm-
it's
We
it's
know we're
frustration. They
exaggerating.
express their
Look,
frustration because they're frustrated.
Here's the problem. Though.
We made a
It's
lot of
not
mistakes, but we fixed them all.
Lee,
Everything's been good.
It's
going
not a
forward.
CRA's job to be frustrated. They're not entitled to be frustrated. They're there to protect the safety and well-being of the trial participant and uphold the data integrity. They're not entitled to be frustrated. If they're frustrated, that is a junior, non-trained, non-qualified person that needs a little bit additional coaching.
This man knows because he just dealt with this 2 years ago. I was there.
I
to
have-
witness it.
What I'm trying to articulate here seriously is that there are certain people that are entitled to feel frustrated, and quite honestly, a sponsor is the one who can feel frustrated. Why? You are a W9. I mean, you're a W9 1099 independent contractor who is providing a service to the
Exactly.
sponsor. Okay, I am entitled to feel frustrated.
Exactly.
Quite frankly, you're not. And by the way, like CROs are not either because they're working for us, and that's the honest truth. Like whether you want to hear that or not, that's like if we're talking about frustration.
100% agree.
But what I'm saying to you is, if you're at the site level and your staff is feeling like, wow, I'm
Overwhelmed.
overreached, or I'm being like, this is overbearing, and this CRA is doing this and that, and they're not a collaborator and a partner and a true extension of the sponsor, which I tell all of my teams, and Dan can attest to this, you are representing me and my company's interest. You need to walk into that site, and if the site feels any differently than if I were to be there, there's already a problem, right? So this comes down to a fundamental issue in training, emotional intelligence,
That's
when,
a great,
right?
A great.
Yeah.
When and if to like turn up the volume, because again, a CRA is not entitled to be frustrated.
Mhm.
They should be working hand in hand with you to solve problems. Okay. And as a sponsor, I'm telling you, like, I lean on my CROs and my CRAs to be my eyes and ears at the site.
Mhm.
Now, if they call and they escalate some issue and
Shout
there's a
out to the
real
CRAs.
issue, Yeah, shout out to the CRAs.
Yeah, that's a hard. That's
If there is a
tough job.
true issue,
Hard job.
and by the way, there 95% of the time it's not like really like it's really not a big issue. Like, hey, what did you do about this when you're on site? Nothing. Oh, that's a problem. So again, this comes down to what Krista said. It's a training issue. It's a personnel issue. It's a personality issue. It's an emotional intelligence issue. And listen, I was there. I came unglued on sites many times. I've been escorted off sites many times.
Yeah.
Hey, get out of here. We don't want Robert. I get it. But guess what? I also caught that same site forging an ICF.
Which
I'm just saying.
right,
So
that'll
there's context to like effective collaboration.
Forging.
Literally.
well, I think a lot of it too. I think it stems from pressure and where the pressure's being put on. What happens? What I feel has happened is that, maybe the monitoring plan wasn't followed as it should have been, and then the sponsor put a whole bunch of pressure onto the CRO, but then that pressure translates from the pressure that's been put from the sponsor onto the CRO translates from the CRO to the site.
100%.
And honestly, it was the CRO and the site's fault in the scenario, but the pressure's coming down, but it's translating too hard. And then you're basically translating it down because I don't want to say the two people that have to collaborate at the site level and at the CRO level are the CRA and the CRC, and the pressure's coming from the top down on the CRC, and it's coming from the top down on the CRA, which then creates kind of a toxic environment because this doesn't happen at my site, but just in general in the industry. You know, a boss is yelling at a CRC, and then a boss is yelling at a CRA, and then these are the two people getting yelled at from their superiors, which creates already a pretty toxic environment before and it's hard for them to collaborate. Now, what makes a really, really good CRA, and we have one, it's funny, we have a couple studies from the same sponsor, but there is one CRA that is like the most collegial that we've worked with.
I know which one.
Yeah, you instantly know it is. She sits down and she's constantly looking for solutions. She's
He can't believe it.
Okay.
What you're saying.
no.
Not good.
There's CRAs that exist.
I'm just like
He's like
I'm so flabbergasted. I'm like, oh my god.
So annoying.
I'm like tearing up over here. This actually exists? Tell me more. Keep going.
It's September 19th, not April 1st.
yeah. No. She just does a really good job, and she's taken a young coordinator who's just been hammered from other CRAs, and is like, she's at her wits' end. Like she's really frustrated. But she's tough as nails, and she's dealing with it. But there's just one CRA that kind of like sits down next to her, puts her arm around her, and is like, "Hey, here's what we're gonna do."
And I feel like that's
Here's what it is.
collaboration.
It is
Boom.
collaboration, and she's
That's
like,
collaboration.
even if she tells her, "Look, this should have been documented this way, but we can fix it," and she's on top of it. She's catching it not 6 months later because she's been on top of it the whole time. And actually, I think we have more patients on that study than any of the others, and it is the best monitor study because
And I think it's
this
tone,
monitor was,
too.
and it's definitely
Because
tone.
like when you're collaborating with someone, like you can say, "Oh yeah, I'm collaborating," but it's like you're telling them, "Look, you did this, and this is crazy that you did this." Like literally, I have monitors that have done that, and it's literally that you didn't file the ICF. Like,
no one wants to
right.
feel attacked.
Actually, nobody wants
Yeah.
to feel attacked.
And so
Yeah.
it's like
And-
it's tone. It's like be kind. Hey, you misplaced. I mean, you misfiled this ICF. Can we just fix it?
The-
I put it in the chart for you. I put it in the right patient chart for you. Whatever it is,
But
like
that's again,
I
that's the
think
coaching
when-
and the training and sitting down
And
with the
in
person
research,
and
I feel
walking
like
them through it.
training is so
when a
That
CRA
is
Not-
missing.
Not
Good.
anymore.
Even
Not
the
good.
sites
When a
that I'm
CRA
working
shows
at,
up,
it's
they should
missing right
be-
now.
yeah.
they
for
should
sure.
kind of they need to be humble, but a lot of CRAs come in like the tech person, like because your computer's broken, they're like, "Did you try turning it off and turn it back on again?" And then they're like, "Well, did you do this? Did you do this?" And it's just that passive aggressive tone
Yeah.
that makes
We
them
love our
feel
CRAs.
inferior.
Shout out to the CRAs.
No, they work really hard.
I'm gonna be honest. I was working at a site.
Don't send us those CRA.
I was working at a site, and I told myself if I go to a CRO, I'm not going for CRA, and I skipped straight to CTM because I was like, that's not gonna be
That's
me.
good. That's smart.
Yeah, because
No, I feel bad for
no way.
CRAs are run around.
It's a hard
They're
job.
tired.
It's a hard
It's
job.
so hard.
They have so
Two
much
hardest
jet
jobs in
lag.
clinical research:
Like-
CRC,
Tired.
CRA. And I think everybody like they work really hard at CRC so they can become a CRA, and then they're like, "This still sucks."
Look, I used to wake up and not know what state I was in. Literally,
Right,
like,
no,
oh my
no.
god, I'm like, where am I? You know,
It's
but
hard.
it's a hard job.
It's so hard.
But it doesn't excuse
yeah,
behavior for CRCs to feel like they're being spoken down to,
agree.
or
But I think
Shout
that's
out
also
to
part of
Lana.
collaboration,
course.
understanding what someone
Trust,
else, what the other
respect.
person is
Yeah,
going through.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
they just
All of
flew out maybe like 4 hours. Who knows if they flew from another state? Haven't even been.
Or how much? How,
But they
well, how
shouldn't
much
take
sleep
that out.
they've
A
had.
That's
100%.
right.
A
Yeah.
100%.
That's not fair.
yeah.
100%. But also your tone when you first start talking to someone also will determine the rest of the visit.
Jen, I think if we bring it to like the SIV, right?
Lately,
Yeah.
the CRA's been very good. Like our CRAs, I don't know if it's just because
I think it's because it's
No,
Dan.
we've had really.
they don't know.
Yeah, they don't want to be
Yeah.
blasted in front of 40
they don't want After Dark to come on and they're talking crap about
They've
them.
been amazing. Like
They're so great to you, Dan. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're a celebrity, that's
We've been
why.
lucky. No, but I think I've seen a change in the last decade. The CRAs have been hired with more EQ versus
Mm.
IQ. And when I started,
That's
CRAs were rough. They
They
would
were
come in my
rough.
office.
They were
What is this doing on the wall? They would literally rip it off. Like
Yes.
that sign.
Yes.
What is this? This doesn't belong there. Boom.
Yeah,
And
it's true. They were
I'm putting
alive.
cameras up now in my monitoring room that says "Welcome to Guru Nation," and I'm just gonna point cameras on.
They don't want to play with us.
I will.
you're on the vlog.
He's gonna invite me to SOS on a panel just to attack me.
SaveOurselves.com. Early bird sale. When is this going up? Soon?
I'll make sure it goes up in the next week.
Early bird tickets. I gotta get my room too.
SOS is a fantastic conference.
Thank you.
I
The
loved
whole
it.
team.
I loved it. Today.
That's the short
Like
answer to
on-
your question.
Yeah.
But you know what? SOS was a good example of collaboration.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
That's what
I
you're saying.
remember in my panel, I did SOPs.
With
And
Brad, he did it with Brad.
yes, and
How did Brad
me
organize
and,
that?
me and Scott, I think, were going back and forth about SOPs,
Let's go.
and someone on the panel.
Shout out to Scott.
And actually, Jess came up, and that's part of collaboration. She was like, "Hold on, let me just explain what she's trying to say." And she was like, "If you don't have it, we can get in trouble too." So it's like, let's work together.
Right.
So I feel like what's great about SOS is that it opens up that space for collaboration and for like discussing, hey, look, this is an issue. This is what happens at sites. And then since there's sponsors and CROs like sitting in the audience,
Yeah.
they actually give feedback and say, hey, look, but we do this because of that. And I feel like it opens up the conversation really well
I think
for
so.
collaboration.
Mhm.
So I love that you have that SOS.
true.
I think
Thank
you know you've been a leader in collaboration for years. We've been in mastermind groups, even with. I actually think I met Brad in person before you did. I still,
Hightower, yeah.
yeah, Hightower. Every time I get to Oklahoma, if I make time, I call him, see if he's available, and I just because he's a brilliant guy. You're a brilliant man, but the more time I can spend with him, it's largely valuable. He does. I mean, he donates a lot of time too. Him and Denali, they do like a podcast every day,
Yeah.
just
Sticky notes, note to
and-
file.
right. Note to file, and they do it, and it's valuable information for the industry,
It
for
is.
the site side, and for the CRO side.
Yeah.
But where it's really brought in a lot of collaboration is that you've been connecting sponsors and sites and
Yeah.
everybody since the beginning. All of you
Yeah.
have. The whole group that kind of started SOS.
Yeah.
Judy Galindo, who,
She's great.
shout out to Judy. I was looking for collaboration with the Arizona Latin American Medical Association. Just out of the kindness of her heart, she hopped on a flight, came over here and helped deliver like a presentation in Spanish.
Wow.
She came out.
She did it in
met-
Spanish?
What's that?
She did it in Spanish?
I didn't end up in Spanish because most of them spoke English, but they
Okay.
all spoke Spanish as well. But the intent was for her to do it in Spanish. I
Wow.
didn't speak Spanish. I had Spanish-speaking staff, but they couldn't do. The thing was, without any return, just to help research, just to
Yeah.
be collaborative and help me out. She hopped on a plane, no
Wow.
questions asked, came out here, and
I think that's so important.
yeah, it's because she truly cares
Yeah.
about people. I think our whole group, or
Judy Galindo, you got a shout out.
yes, Judy, thank you. I owe you.
Thank
I
you
will.
for speaking Spanish.
See, like these conversations, these candid, non-scripted conversations on people who are literally doing the do every day.
Yeah.
This is what resonates with people.
Mhm.
Not the courses, not the certification programs, not the trainings, not the textbooks, not the books.
Yeah.
Not to say that the books aren't great. Grab Dan's book; it's
Oh,
phenomenal.
yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alec has really good books too.
yeah,
Alex Finelli.
but really, these types of conversations are way like this is what pushes the envelope forward,
Yeah.
and it's on every one of us here,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone that is watching this and who will watch this, and everyone in
Yeah.
Guru Nation.
And I
With-
think
We have to actually like, guys, the platitudes around like, oh, we're gonna do this and that, it's a lot of lip service, and it's like, no, like I can tell you firsthand that I am actually doing what I say I'm doing
I am too.
when it comes to like change.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a study. He's calling patient leads.
I think you joined the study, right?
I
He
did.
joined the
Yeah.
study,
I remember seeing a post.
and then he
Yeah.
became a patient.
My PI's in a study right now.
That's interesting.
He fought to get in the study. It's a heart study. He had a heart transplant,
Oh,
Wow.
and they didn't want him in the study. And he's providing data. He fought for like a year to get in because he really wanted
That's
in.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
at
Wow.
Cedar Sinai. I'm not gonna
Wow.
go anything beyond that, but
Shout
he
out to
fought for
LA.
like a year. Yeah, shout out to LA. So he's gone. He's gone about once. Still about one day a month. He has
Yeah.
to go over there and get followed up on. But
Good.
it's funny when our patients are like, well, I don't know, it's research. And he's like, I'm in a study right now.
Yeah.
But
Like,
that's what
really?
resonates
That's
because this
confusing.
stigma. Sorry.
First-
No, that's what I was saying. That's great.
I
Yeah,
think
no,
it
it's-
would be great to get Nate's perspective because he was at the FDA.
No, he
He
was.
part. I know.
He's done FDA audits. He
Oh,
was
well,
in-
audits.
Yeah, he's
so it
in
would
the
be
audit.
nice
So
to get some kind of input too from what you've experienced.
Well, I mean, the audits go through everything that you are preparing for, right?
Mhm.
They can be kind of long and drawn out, and they're always going to find something. But
good processes though
Yeah.
are really kind of the key to any trouble that may come, or the key to staying out of trouble.
well,
Like, tell
all
us
of
about how
it
you
is gonna
develop
is
processes
valuable
or-
information because it makes us all better, you know, as we continue to work.
Yeah, we just had a FDA audit in one of my sites in Miami, and the FDA auditor was so kind that it made it feel like it was just a regular monitoring visit. But like, not only that, he was very like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. This is why you have to do this. This is why you have to do that. We didn't have any findings, no citations.
Wow.
But anyways,
Amazing.
but no, it was like he was so nice though about it. He was just like, look, this is a problem, could be a problem because maybe this, like, you know, and he went into detail. And I feel like that's the kind of collaboration that we need. And hiring, like you said, people with higher EQ is going to be
EQ, right,
really
EQ.
important for that, because if he wasn't cognizant of how we might take his, you know, the FDA audit. I mean, his FDA audit, they called us Monday and came on Wednesday.
Wow, that's
Have to
fast.
be
Okay,
that-
like put it that way. And
Shout
it was
out
like-
Marty Macri and Vinny Prasad.
Yeah, that goes to show
Oh,
that you're
Vinny's
really
back.
prepared
Oh, he's
too,
back.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
because
back?
you know
Wait,
to
what?
put you in
Came back?
that
Where have I been?
situation and not have any
It
findings.
was like a month.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, so it's just like, but just the way that he handled it, it almost made me feel like it was my first FDA audit at a site.
Mhm.
I have done it, like, you know, at
It's also why you're
zero.
not on a site in Miami, because when the FDA
Yeah.
gets an
No,
audit
exactly.
request,
No, they're like, "Oh, magnifying
they,
glass."
they go to Indianapolis in January, like, hey, we got a site in Miami that's I'll be there Wednesday. I'll be there Wednesday.
I would
Let's
start
go.
100 sites in Phoenix before one in Miami.
Yeah.
That's
All
the
that.
Oh, yeah.
worst
Well,
place
now
to
you know
be.
the one.
Or
is us.
Indianapolis.
Kidding.
That's yours?
Or
Yeah, it was ours.
But you had
Yeah.
that site for a while. Let's
15 years.
yeah.
Yeah, 15 years. I'm
But
not
wait,
gonna
this is
start
our
it now.
first FDA audit.
But I wouldn't want to be
Ever.
in Indianapolis around the holidays because that's where like the head of the FDA is. So like when it comes like Thanksgiving
they're
time or
already-
Christmas
they're-
time,
they're
they're like,
all-
you need to audit some
They're
time.
not
You
going
need
to
to
audit this.
not far
Well,
away,
if
but
you
ever
know-
if you live in Indianapolis, they'll be like,
No,
yeah, I'll
okay.
get one on Wednesday.
No, actually, he even told me this much: the FDA hires you, and you have to move to the city that you're gonna do the audit in.
For a week?
No, you literally live there.
For
Yeah.
how long?
No, until they switch you to another city.
It's like an
Like
assignment.
For
you
one
live
site?
there. No.
Just
So, like-
it's a region.
So like I'm gonna hire.
I want to do a Norm
this
Macdonald
FDA
note to
auditor,
self, an
and you're
open
gonna be
site in the least
Miami.
desirable city to live in
Wow.
And you
America.
have to live there.
Well,
Biloxi,
if I were the
Mississippi.
FDA, I would hire
Good.
10 people. in
We should
Miami.
actually open a
Yeah,
site
no,
there
but
tomorrow.
they don't even hire. You don't have to be in Miami. They'll
Actually,
hire
I
you
like
from anywhere.
Biloxi.
So like this FDA
Yeah,
auditor
but
was
if I were
from
the
Texas.
FDA, I
Yeah,
would
you
put
like
10
us.
people in Miami.
100%. So that's what he. So that's
That's
what
how
they
fun
did.
the site.
Right.
So he applied for the job in Tampa, and when they were doing the interview, he's like, "Yeah, if we give you the job, you'll be in Miami." He was like, "Oh."
Of course. Where else are you gonna go?
But yeah, so I mean, it was cool though, cause like, look all this information I have now about FDA audits, and this is stuff that I can help sites with. I can help everybody with give information so that it doesn't seem so scary, you know.
That's important.
But
I'm
I've
actually
seen-
going to
I've
hire
seen
Dan to
both.
keep me out of
Yeah.
FDA
I've
audits
seen
to
both. I
begin
mean,
with.
I've been through DEA audits, FDA audits, and
Did you say DEA audits?
Yes.
What's DEA
I,
audit?
listen,
They come with guns.
I no, he's not. He's not kidding
No.
at all.
They come with guns.
Is that from
so
is that for
Early-
narcotics when?
Early in my career, I worked
I
in.
wouldn't
I
have
worked
like-
on the Purdue Pharma portfolio,
Oh, good lord.
Yeah.
which you guys have
Oh,
all seen the
yeah.
documentaries
Still.
on. Pick your
Yeah.
flavor, Netflix, Hulu.
I was in loads of their trials.
Yeah, so I'm sure. You will. But yeah, no, really. The DEA 222 form. How many of you guys on this panel know about that?
I do.
There you go. Okay, so we
I filled it out. Pain in the ass.
It's so annoying,
it's
and then when you have to get
very-
Schedule
yeah.
One, forget it.
yeah, and we did a narcolepsy study with Rohypnol.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
I'm just saying, like, what
Those studies-
I'm trying to say here is like
They are.
each auditor, you got actually lucky,
You miss
Right.
one
Yeah.
pill, they're coming to your side.
100%. One
One
oxy
pill.
IR, 5 milligram rescue, a
They're
disaster. Like we're
Lonnie,
tearing
you
this.
lose one pill, it's over.
We're tearing this place apart. But Jenna, what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
and the truth is, like, it's great. You had a great experience, but there's also so many people out there that have a bad
Bad
experiences,
experience,
right?
yeah.
So, I think it's being able to understand, like, I don't know how we got to this conversation, really, to be
I
honest.
think we're
with you.
just talking about tone and stuff.
Right, but like the
Yeah.
idea of, and for sites, really, like, you need to understand what to say, how to say it, when
Yeah.
to say it, and how to behave in an audit
And if
situation.
you don't, you're not sure, just don't say it.
Right.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think
So
the
that's a
most
whole
important
other
part.
topic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Doesn't that experience help you with sponsors too, to have a good experience?
Yeah,
with
for
FDA?
sure.
We have
Yeah.
a sponsor audit, but I
For
heard
sure.
that those are very different than FDA audits. So
Sponsor audits are not.
sponsor audit, you want to like soak it all up. FDA audit, I don't know why Brad did this, but he spent a week with this person. I would stay away and just have.
Oh no, not me. I went into the room and I was like, "Hi, I'm Jen. How can we? Let's talk. Where are
Yeah,
you
you're
from?
crazy.
It's a really good
How'd
stat.
you get into this? That's me.
It's
You
a really
put
good
them on
stat.
after
So
hours?
the
You put them on after hours. The
What?
FDA.
No.
No.
The,
I would never do that.
I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think that's allowed. You
the
can't give
successful
anything.
FDA audit, I think it really helps the site. So I have a PI, Dr. Cifuentes. One of the things I do with the jerseys that she's wearing is, I hold them up and I
Very
take
nice.
pictures with
Thank you.
I
They
take
are nice.
jerseys with all of our PI, or like I take pictures with all of our PIs, like kind of a welcome to the team. But I'm making baseball cards for them, and I have one. I have one Dr. Cifuentes who, one of the unique things is like he's had an FDA audit, so it's FDA audits 1, 483 is 0. That's a good stat.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
That's what we're
That's
putting.
pretty cool. That's pretty
We're
Very
cool.
also gonna
valuable,
put,
yeah.
like diversity metrics for all the studies, like Dr.
You have a Jen Pages rookie card?
No.
Why did I get a Jen Pages?
He
rookie
doesn't have
card?
it yet, but now I got a 1 and a 0 too.
1-0, 1-0.
Yeah.
Moving on up, my stats are getting better.
I didn't get her rookie year. I had to let the Tigers make her a winner before she
Yeah.
got
He
stolen.
got me. He got me after I'm about to
No.
retire.
Respect.
She's gonna finish out her career with a winning team.
Yeah. That's why Floyd won't box again. He wants to go out,
Floyd's done 49 and
I'm
0.
just saying,
On the
got
top.
nothing more to prove anymore.
Yep.
I think this was a very productive conversation. Off the clock is usually 30 minutes, and I don't know if we passed it or not. But I have a good time clock, so I feel like it's about now.
I feel like we've been here about an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what? It's
48
okay.
minutes.
I didn't want to stop the conversation because it was just
I know
going so
exactly.
well.
48, 43.
43, 41.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
That's close
Same
enough.
one over
That's
there.
All right, so
Man.
Well,
wait,
after
but-
you edit out the coughing, will be
It's
good.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
1.2 speed.
yeah. So it was really great having everybody here. Thank you guys for coming
Thank
out.
you
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Yeah,
I flew over here and I was like, Dad, you gotta come on my podcast. And look, he
Dream
came with
come true.
everybody.
Listen, you're very influential because I've been telling Dan to come down to Phoenix forever and he hasn't.
Oh,
And so
okay.
the fact that like, oh, you know, you're here and Dan's like, all right, I'm coming down to Phoenix. And I'm like, really? Wow, what's the occasion? He's like, well, you know, I'm gonna go do some biz dev. I'm like, great. So good on you, John.
Okay.
You are very influential.
I'm just soft with it. I'm like, hey, I really want to do a podcast with you. Can you come? And
We
then
missed
that
it
worked.
in Yuma last time she came out.
You
She
did
couldn't
owe
make
her.
it to Yuma.
Yeah.
So I owed you one. And in SOS, we kind of fucked up the audio.
Yeah, yeah, that was on you.
And
See,
that
I'm
was
the
on
only one that
Daniel.
didn't come out. And I'm
That was
like,
on
damn, where's my
Daniel.
podcast?
Actually, that was on Jair.
Oh.
Well, I'm just super glad that you guys could use my site, not include me in the conversation outside of that. For,
man.
but
Oh,
you're welcome.
please. You,
No,
you,
no,
you
no.
probably have the most talk
It was,
time.
it was like,
actually.
yeah.
More camera time. This guy loves the
And,
camera.
and I'm complaining about passive aggressive CRAs.
You
right.
wonder why?
No,
We love
This
the
whole
CRAs.
conversation started because
Come
of
to
you.
Yuma Clinical Trial. We love you.
No.
Yeah,
We do, we do.
So
Uh,
thank
Shout
you
out
guys.
CRCs, CRAs.
Yes. You guys are the heart of the
Come to
industry. I
you,
feel
but
like.
Without you, we have no. I don't have a job.
You don't have a trial.
You're
Yeah.
always literally always posting things like this whole industry is run by CRCs and nobody. It's the truth. though.
It's
It's
true.
literally the truth, and they're the most
It's-
underrated. I mean, literally, yeah.
Underrated and underpaid.
100%.
I'm getting new jerseys. I'm getting
Don't
jerseys now.
Worst side owners I know,
Should
but
I-
it's,
I mean,
Yeah,
underpaid.
I don't know, should I
Ask
tell this?
Jaime about
I mean, Dan, like you started getting manicures and manicures for your staff.
yeah, but
because,
Jenny moved.
well, I'm just
Jenny
saying, but you did.
Jenny, where are you at? We were supposed to do a podcast. I'm disappointed.
Robert, with the jerseys, I'm getting jerseys for all my CRCs. I'm just making a bunch of them that all say CRC on the back and number 1 because all of our CRCs are gonna be number 1. And then after they do a year, I'm gonna let them put their name on it and buy them one of their own.
Everybody
That's
wants
awesome.
to be
But they'll
number
swap
one.
around.
That's
So
awesome.
All the CRCs, and they can wear
so
them
they're
on
in the D
Fridays.
League until.
Wait,
No, they're in the
every-
number
They're in the
one.
Adirondacks.
No, they're in the number
They
1.
get
Pulled
you can't
up.
put everyone number 1. That's socialism, man.
Here we go. Cut it. Cut it.
Okay,
We're getting political.
but
Jen,
thank you
so
guys
much for having us.
No,
Thank you,
thank you guys
Jonathan.
so
Thank
much
you.
for
Great cue.
wanting to be on my podcast. It really means a lot to me because I know of
Off
you
the
guys
clock.
also up through online, and I saw you guys at SOS, and then I met you through Dan,
I
and you
met
already
you.
know you and you. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it, and the information you guys gave was very valuable. So I hope my viewers really enjoy it. And so thank you guys so much. And I usually give a high five to my brother when we do it, so we can just
Felix.
high five each other.
We high-fived them on the blog
All
earlier.
right, thank you guys.
All right, guys.